Matt Meehan here for IrishBoxingCom. Finally, the time has come. The news has arrived. Kian Hedderman is now officially a professional boxer. I knew there'll be time I'd say that, but listen, Kian, how are we?
Feeling very excited.
Um, just tell me, how did this move come about? Because I kind of there was talk, in between there. Oh, he might turn pro. We'd love him to turn pro, to see him go pro, and then it actually happened. How did that come about?
Yeah, well, look, realistically, I can bring you from the start. Joined into a pro gym really, and ever since day one, I've been training alongside pros. So it was always the dream in hand, and it was always going to happen sooner than later. But I actually longed it out more than I should have. Um, the goal really was to become just win one Irish, win the senior intermediates, and then after that turn pro. But I actually stayed on a lot longer, boxing for the boxing for the 22s and winning two of them, and then going on boxing for Ireland. So now it's time. I think it's time to turn over to where I was officially made with the boys.
How does it sound, Keaton, that people are saying now you're a professional boxer? What's that sound like in your ears?
Yeah, look, it obviously, of course, it feels good, but you know yourself, Matt. This is all. It's always been the same. I've been training, living, eating with pros since day one. Do you know what I mean? So to myself, it's just another day, just another day. But realistically, it's a very exciting time now to go and improve what I'm able to do, and I'm really looking forward to it now.
You in the gym with the likes of Andy Lee, Joseph Parker, Paddy Donovan, Ben Whitaker. So it's world class experience that you're getting.
Yeah, look, I'm truly blessed to be alongside of any of them, and especially the likes of Andy Lee and Paddy, two Limerick-based people. They're on my front doorstep, to be honest. And to even hear them speak is for what they have to say and how they came up in the pro ranks and even amateur ranks. It's a very good message to put across. And to be honest, when you're in the circle of them, you kind of need to be like a sponge and soak everything in hear how they did it and learn from their mistakes realistically. And it's very good having Paddy always next to me as well, and Edward and Jason and all these other pros, Graham, Jamie Morrissey, Lee Reeves. There's a lot of look. Limerick's a very based professional setting. You know what I mean? You have the likes of Andy with the Big Bang, so it's kind of always the next step.
Um, I guess was it Andy was it like who tipped you to go pro? Like who was the word of advice that if you can say like oh you should go pro, or was it again oh, as you said, was it always a thought in your own head that you'd love to go pro?
Matt, always I thought my own head, like ever since the first day I walked into the boxing club, the first person I seen there was Paddy. And actually, when I was 17, that was my first time in there. I didn't know nothing about boxing, to be honest. I didn't follow boxing. I'd actually run away from my boxing club when I was young, lad. You know, it's just the fact that when I came in, he was already 3-0, I think, at the time. And I typed them up straight away, and then from there on, then I fell in love with the professional boxing. I didn't even know nothing about amateur boxing, and like, well, I did know much because we had Kevin there, Kevin Sheehy, who inspired me to go and box, to actually walk into the boxing club and do these things. But realistically, when I seen him, I started searching up boxing straight away and I found my favorites. And from there on,
Who were the favorites?
when I was watching, when I went home that day, I'll never forget it. It was in July the 2nd. And I went home, I typed up, I think it was Amir Khan was the first boxer I seen. And I sat down watching highlights of Amir Khan for hours. And then I went to, obviously I knew of Andy Lee, looking up Andy Lee as well. So Amir Khan and Andy Lee were the first two boxers I was looking up.
Like over obviously Paddy has a big rematch coming up, and you've probably been a vital part of the camp. What's it like being inside that compound camp and being able to grasp that knowledge of information of the likes that Paddy and Andy are passing you, or to do this way, and and so on and so forth.
To be honest, you just see the 1%, the intensity and things that they do and how. much they work on the simple basics, like simple, absolute simple boxing, and the repetitiveness of doing the same thing over and over again, and just like their boxing brains is off the charts. Andy Lee now is known as one of the best coaches in the world, and to even sit there and see his work and his school of boxing is absolutely brilliant. But having Paddy there, a person that always, anytime, will help explain what he's doing or how to do such a thing. So it's absolutely fantastic to have the likes of them there as well.
Yeah. Bring us back to your amateur career, just a brief overlook. Um, are you happy, first off, with everything that you've achieved in the amateurs?
Yeah, I'm very happy, Matt. To be honest, like believe myself, I overachieved. I never even believed that I'd become Irish champion when I first started. Like 17 years of age, leaping into fights, didn't know what I was at. To be honest, couldn't even throw a straight jab. And for things, this is all in a 5 year process. Like, you know what I mean? I'm 21 now. So if you asked me this 5 years ago, I probably would have laughed at you. So realistically, now turning pro, three national titles underneath my belt, like I'm very happy. And how everything's went so fast, it's like a click of a finger, you know what I mean?
Mm. Um, like I guess it's been good. The amateur days have been good to you, multiple medals and stepping inside that iconic national stadium and winning a national title. But what do you want as a professional now? From the debut, like, do you have any goals set for yourself?
It's day by day, Matt, I'm taking it. And I just want to put on a good performance. Everything is on about your performance, realistically. And I train very, very hard in the gym. This is uplifted me a big time. I had a long layoff, so realistically, all I want to do is be back in my element again and go to my debut. Help of God that is soon. I hopefully want to perform and have my crowd. My Limerick crowd is a very good crowd, so or I just want to give back to the people that have supported me the whole way as well.
I think that over the past few weeks to months to years, we've seen the Limerick crowd always turn up and support that man. Obviously, unfortunately with Graham, him taking a loss, but still a big enough Limerick away crowd coming to support him.
Mm.
For example, Jamie Morrissey against Emmett Brennan in the Tri-Arena. A huge Limerick support, obviously really up the road for the Limerick lads. But wherever one lad travels from Limerick, the whole crowd travels. Same with the Paddy. So it's a huge Limerick contingent that I say you'll have wherever you go.
Yeah, look, I believe it's a boxing city too, and these are working class people. Do you know what I mean? They come from humble beginnings. They want to see people. Do you know what I mean? This is what all they know. They're fighting is their life, really. Do you know what I mean? If they're not fighting, if it's if they're not fighting for respect, they're fighting for something here. So realistically, it's always good to get a good back in, and we're really really lucky. You even look at the hurling,
Yeah.
how much backing they have. It's a sporting city, so I'm very very delighted for it, and a lot of people want to see you do well. So and some people don't as well, but they're still gonna follow anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Speaking of, like, what did you do before boxing? Did you play football? Keen? Did you do a bit of hurling, bit of ball? What were you at?
Uh, Look, really, everyone in this estate here, and it's either you played soccer, or you knew you could fight. It's either one of the two. It's
Yeah.
the only way you're gonna get respected around here. So, yeah, I was playing football, playing soccer with all the lads, playing football, and so that was that was my main thing. Well, at the time, it was my main thing.
Can you still kick a ball well?
Believe it or not, I played a match there last week. I don't want to say I don't want to be bragging. Don't want to be bragging. I need someone to say it underneath it. But yeah, I had a good last match anyway. But not as half as well as I used to anyway. It's gone too
Okay,
slow, man. I
I
don't know what
get
it
you.
is. I,
Um, how did Jason contact you for the signing? Was it just one day that you started talking to him, and then just kind of one thing led to another, or how did that management deal eventually come about?
no, believe it or not, we've always been in contact since his fight with Berlinga. I was up being a sparring partner for him when he was fighting Berlinga, and that's when we first met. And from there on, then he's always kind of kept tabs. And I was very, very lucky to meet him. I came back from boxing from Ireland in Netherlands, and the day I came back, it was only a couple of days. I was up in training camp again, sparring with Jason.
Um, Speaking of people that you spared, what was it like sparing Ben Whitaker and helping out with the man himself, Joseph Parker?
Listen, that's an absolute number one. It's a blessing to be even in the same ring as them. And like Ben Whitaker, he's a phenomenal boxer,
Yeah,
and you can learn so much with him. You know, it was him sparring him was absolutely great, and I loved it. I love the fact that Andy gave me that opportunity to go in there and have some rounds with him. So it was just he's just high class. That's all I have to say about him. But Joe Parker was probably that was unreal because I stayed overnight with him a couple of nights and in this house and just to basically live with Joseph Parker for a
yeah,
week or two was just unreal and spending your day to day time with him. And I used to just be looking at him thinking, nah, this is not real. But
yeah,
it's real enough. And when you're in the ring with him, then it gets realer. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? So look, he's an absolute gentleman. And I love my time with him when he was back. And he's an listen, he's a star.
Yeah. Where do you think that Joseph can go from now off the back of a win?
He can go straight in for a world title, no bother. I think Andy and Joseph have worked so well together. They have this bond. It's
Unbreakable, it seems.
speechless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbreakable. Yeah, it is. And even just the mood in the gym when you're up there is
Mm.
unreal, and how everyone is acts around each other. Everyone is driven for the one thing, and that's success. So it's
Yeah.
it's very powerful.
I say it's good to finally have the word out, but can you give any exclusive to when we can see you out for the first time as a professional boxer?
Um, look, I'm waiting on my manager to give me the clearance, and then I can put it out. But look, I'm hoping very, very soon, and I really can't wait because you know what I mean. I just can't wait to be in a fight, to be honest.
Yeah. June 28th, obviously, I'm gonna ask the question, did this show in Galway? Is there any possibility that you could be
Mm.
hitting the West?
We don't know. Hopefully, it would make a lot of sense. It's only an hour away, hour and a half away from Limerick,
Yeah.
so that would be a great time to debut. Especially it's only 5 weeks away, so I'm
Yeah.
back training now. So and I've had a long layoff. So to be honest, I jump in there tonight, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes, and hopefully it does go ahead. If it is, we're pulling the strings for everywhere. But look, whatever's next is next. So.
Have you found the amateur style difficult? So the amateur to professional style, have you found it difficult to adjust to, Keane?
No, do you know, Matt? I was always stuck in between the two. And I believe it didn't play a great side to me in the amateurs in in some cases.
Hmm.
You know, I always been sparring 6 rounds, 8 rounds, always with the likes of Paddy, and you know, you're getting this professional training, then going into a 3 round fight, it's very different. You know what I mean? You're talking about a long run to a sprint. So to be honest, I found it difficult being caught in between the two, training like a pro and then boxing as an amateur. But I believe that look, it is what it is now, and I can finally do what I feel like I'm better at, and with the longer rounds.
Um, if I was to say someday a Limerick homecoming for yourself and a few other Limerick boxers, I say that'd be something good because you've plenty of stadiums down there, and definitely you could fill a stadium down there.
Listen, that is always for every boxer on the planet. Your main goal is to have a homecoming at home for your people, your fans, your family, your friends to come and see your box and to bring boxing back to Limerick would be absolutely brilliant. And everyone wants that. You know what I mean? I believe Paddy's not too far off it himself, but maybe one day in the future I'm gonna have that one day. Please God.
Keane, one last question. Three singular words that we can expect from you the first time you step out as a professional boxer.
Excitement, class. I don't have another one, but I'm just gonna show
Explosive.
that it's gonna be explosive.
Explosive. Excitement, class, and explosive. Kian Hedderman, on that note, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Matt, thank you very much. God bless.
Appreciate it.